Today is the International Day of Remembrance of the Rwandan Genocide. And that was a really important event in the 90s because it happened over the course of several months in 1994 in broad daylight. Everyone knew it was happening, journalists were publishing photos as it was happening, and nobody did anything about it. Afterwards, the international community was so ashamed of their complete lack of action that they once again renewed their vow to never again, even harder than before. On an unrelated note, a few years ago, an Israeli professor and an Israeli lawyer sued their own government to declassify Israeli arms sales to Rwanda around the time of the genocide. And the Supreme Court decided to block that declassification on the grounds that it would harm Israel's national security and international relations. Of course, we can't infer anything about the decision to keep those records classified. But the point is, hypothetically speaking, if your ancestors were the victim of a genocide, that doesn't really prevent you or your descendants from materially supporting a genocide elsewhere or committing one yourself. Because the reality is we are all capable of becoming so hateful that we would support the eradication of the people that we perceive, wrongly or not, to be our enemies. Being against genocide isn't something that you inherit in your blood. It's something that you choose to do by looking at what's happening and deciding to speak out or act against it. You know, unlike the international community during the Rwandan genocide. But if you've convinced yourself, hypothetically speaking, that your ancestors' plight magically prevents you and your future bloodline from ever doing that to other people, what that really does is it prevents you from critically examining your own actions and the actions of the people you support. Hypothetically speaking. Anyway, follow for more.